Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in.
What's up, y'all? Hope all is well. So in this video, I will be doing some commentary in reaction to this video that 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 put up, and I want to talk about some of the responses that she got in her comment section. And to understand the context of this discussion, you will have to watch will have watched my Where Does Afro-Latina Start and Stop video. So that will be linked in the description box below. But if you've already watched that video, great. We can get into the commentary. You won't be completely lost, but just for, further context of what I'm going to be talking about, I would say you should watch that video first. So let's get into it. So I'm going to simply be commenting on the optics of the situation. I don't know this girl. I don't know the show that she's on. They're referencing the show in the comment section. I'm not sure. I don't know her lore. Okay. So if there's any other aspects to the story that I'm leaving out, I simply just don't know. Okay. That's all it is. But yeah, I'm just going to be commenting on how they're responding to her in the comment section when it comes to her having the caption in her video of calling herself pretty and mixed. So I think that is very interesting how people were responding to it, and that's why I'm saying you have to have watched my first video to kind of understand my perspective on this video. So I guess she did a remix to Wham Whammy, that song that went viral on TikTok or whatever. So that's the song that she's lip syncing to. I'm not gonna play it obviously because I don't want to get copywritten. But anyway, so her caption says pretty and mixed, stupid B. so so anyway, as you can see, they're in the comment section clowning her, saying go white girl go. What else are they saying? She took them braids out for this one, claiming Puerto Rican and Asian one moment and then trying to play mixed with black the next is actually diabolical. So you're Puerto Rican and Asian, or you're Puerto Rican and black, Puerto Rican and Asian until you got them baddies, blah blah blah. Now you have suddenly mixed with black. No, you were inspired by a black woman and were inspiring, and we're not hiring. Have a good day. Let me think. You're not black, baby girl. That's your hair after braids, babe. Mixed with what? White and Mexican. Mixed with what? PR and Cuban. Didn't Ice Spice say you weren't black? Let's see what these replies say. Ice Spice is not even black. She probably is. I don't know. But Rella mixed. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I guess I can stop reading some of the comments here. But yeah, this is why I'm doing this commentary, because my whole point in my original video was essentially that you had Ice Spice and Cardi B going back and forth about blackness. You got Ice Spice telling this other girl that she's not black and she be saying the N-word. Then you got this girl saying Ice Spice is black, but then another person in the comment section is saying Ice Spice is not black. My point is that all three of these ladies are clearly mixed race Latinas of African descent, right? So the fact is that they are mixed. It just is what it is. You look at all of us, we all have a very obviously mixed phenotype. We're mixed people. Whether you decide to singularly identify with your nation or ethnicity, or you choose to identify with race, at the Afro, whatever, that's your personal business. But at the end of the day, we genetically, physically are mixed. That is the one reality that everybody should be able to accept in this situation. And even that is not accepted. And I just find that very interesting. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying in that video, was that there's no one size fits all answer. Not everybody's raised the same way. We're all from different countries, depending on what country, region, time period, upbringing, parental situation, that can affect how you identify, how you see yourself. There's never going to be any one size fits answer when it comes to Latino people. whether they be of African descent or not, as well as when it comes to mixed people in North America. It's never going to be a one size fits all answer, and this is always going to be a part of conflict to people, to me, because people are not people don't like it when they have a group of people that they feel like they can't figure out, or they immediately can't attribute a certain set of expectations to. I feel like that's why a lot of people kind of have an issue with mixed people. They don't like that when I interact with you, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect regionally, language wise, politically. They don't like that. They want to deal with people and feel as though they know what to expect. That's always been my feeling. They don't like that they really don't like the ambiguity of mixedness, whether that be your mentality or ethnically as well. So when you see mixed people arguing with like the Spider-Man meme and pointing fingers towards each other, to me I find it more sad than anything, because it just shows that like we as Afro mixed people, whether you be part of the Latin ethnicity or not, we really don't have, I feel like, a community or like a I don't know, we don't have a social understanding amongst each other that like monoracial or darker skinned black people have. We don't have that. So it's easy to weaponize each other against each other. It's easy for us to never have any political stances. It's easy for people to kind of play divide and conquer games against us, and we don't defend each other because we don't have that same mentality. So that's another reason why I always find it so funny when they're like, oh yeah, because when you interact with mixed people, they always say XYZ, or they always think this way, or they say this and that. And it's like, mixed people and light-skinned people are not perfect by any means. That's never been my argument. But one thing I can honestly say about us is that we do have very diverse mentalities and ways of looking at the world. So when they're always stereotyping out us as one way, or saying that we all say the same 5 talking points, I know that they're lying, because I know that that's not true. So that's a strength and a weakness about being in the Afro mixed race group, because we do have a lot of diversity in terms of mentality, upbringing, and phenotype as well. But at the same time, it's a negative, because we don't have like kind of a team mentality. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, brown skin and dark skin people, whether they be from the same ethnicity or not, this wording might come off as weird, but they are on code. They stay on code. They come together like Megatron and know to use the same talking points when it comes to the actual light skin and the mixed people. They're very much on code. Light skinned people are not. And I'm not saying we need to have a toxic bullying type of code like they do sometimes, or that we need to be on some like blue vein shit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think that it's really telling, because just in this comment section alone, and per the comments in my video, none of them girls even look the same, except, I mean, honestly, Rella and Ice Spice look very similar to me. Ice Spice looks slightly different, but they look more similar than different, honestly. But anyway, yeah, everybody's giving different answers based on how much they like the person, based on where the person's from, based on hair texture. It makes no sense to say that Ice Spice is black, but then Cardi B is not, in my opinion. They both have clearly mixed parents. Y'all just like Ice Spice more, even though y'all really don't like her because y'all dragged her too, but because you feel like she's part African American. And I'm in the same situation as Ice Spice because I'm the same ethnic mix. Y'all feel like you're more connected to Ice Spice. Meanwhile, Ice Spice's African American parent is mixed. Like, is a light skinned mixed guy. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like Ice Spice was like literally raised by two mixed people. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all like, oh, she's black. And it's like, I see, just like I see myself to be black, I see Ice Spice to be black too, if that's how she sees herself. I don't force blackness on anybody. But at the end of the day, we are mixed though. And that's kind of where I have an issue sometimes too. I feel like, why do we have to deny the genetic reality of us being mixed to take on this quote unquote black identity? That's what I don't like either. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I do understand why it's confusing too, because like, okay, Rella Jesus saying, oh, she's mixed, and then they're on the comment section saying, oh, well, you're not black. And it's like, black and mixed are not interchangeably. Mestizos are mixed. Central what's the face Mexicans who are indigenous and European, they're mixed. Filipinos are mixed. A lot of people in Asia are mixed. Asians are mixed. You know what I mean? There are people in Greenland who are technically mestizo also. They're indigenous and European. There's people all over the world that are mixed. Mixed is simply a descriptive term based on genetics that has nothing to do with with culture, regional understanding, anything like that. But it's like even that biological fact, people can't even agree on that. So to a degree, when stuff like this happens, I understand why some mixed people feel like no, mixed and black needs to be completely similar, completely separate. Because I'm just gonna be honest with you, certain other people of African descent are always gonna try to weaponize and hold blackness over our head and try to like kind of control what we're saying or doing, or like kick us in and out the group, and they won't just let us be mixed in peace. And I do kind of agree with that, but then at the same time, those people end up kind of sometimes scapegoating people like me and Ice Spice and saying, oh well, because y'all are saying you're light skinned black, you're you're messing it up for the other mixed people. And it's like, regardless, I'm gonna be honest with you, regardless of what we were saying, they would have an issue anyway because they treat light skinned black people who are monoracial the same way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I do think that mixed people get dragged more, but there have been plenty of situations where they've treated monoracial mixed light skinned people who have two dark skinned parents. They get treated similar. So I really don't think it matters what you're calling yourself. They're gonna have an issue with you because a lot of this is about desirability politics and hateration, to be honest. Like, so it's like it's really about looks at the end of the day. So they're just looking for a way to disqualify you or try to turn people against you. That's how I interpret it. I feel like those are two separate issues. That's why I don't really, that's why I always say I'm not in the business of telling other mixed people to how to identify, and I don't really get into the identification shit. I more so just respond to the stuff online because I feel like that's a very intimate and personal experience. You know what I mean? Like, I have my own reasons for why I see myself the way that I do. You know, one day I'm gonna make a video about that. And I'm sure it's confusing to people, like, oh well, why does she say she's a light-skinned black woman but she says she's mixed too? Because that's just a genetic fact. Like, it just is what it is. Like, growing up, where you grow up and how you see yourself is, something different. I feel like, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. Like I said, I'm gonna make a video about that. But yeah, so Rella G's, I'm assuming she's both of her parents are from the Latin ethnicity, as where Ice Spice, like me, is multi-ethnic. So I guess that makes things a little bit more complicated for people. But at the end of the day, and same thing with Ice Spice, not Ice Spice, Cardi B, she's multi-ethnic also. But even then, even though Cardi B is whole half Trinidadian, people completely disqualify that part about her, and they don't let her be multi-ethnic. They stereotype her as a racist light-skinned Dominican woman, even though she looks very much so Trinidadian. And I told y'all before, I look very similar to Cardi B, and people always think I'm Trinidadian. So how I look Trinidadian but Cardi B don't look Trinidadian, but you know what I mean? Like, none of it makes any sense. Like, so it's like, yeah, they always play these games based on who they like. So that's why I also wanted to bring up, like, I don't know what her whole lore on TV or whatever streaming she does. I don't know. I'm not sure why people are treating and reacting to her like this, but it seems like she already had an issue with people, and they're just using this whole mix thing, to come at her more. But anyway, that's basically all I want to say. But just to wrap this up as well, is that, oh yeah, regardless of what you say, whether you say mixed or just light skin or Latina, whatever you say, it's always going to be an issue with people. I find that really interesting too. And it's like, there was a time when people were saying, I don't see this as much anymore, but people were like, oh my gosh, I don't understand why mixed people won't just identify as only mixed, or biracial people won't just identify as mixed, blah blah blah. But then when mixed people who have a obviously very clear mixed race phenotype, like this Rella G's girl, when they say, yeah, I'm mixed, I'm biracial, I'm whatever, then y'all get mad and say, oh no, you're not black. It blows my mind. I will never understand that. I will never understand this mentality, bro. I've seen this on TikTok, in my own eyes, where there's like white presenting mixed people or biracial people, and they show that their parent is black, and then there are people in the comment section, they're like, oh my god, you're not black, and they're like, yeah, I'm actually biracial, I'm just white passing, and they're like, oh my god, you're not black. Like, I will just never ever understand that. And it's because monoracial or monocultural people, I don't feel like they understand mixed or multicultural people. I feel like that's what it is. It's like a misinterpretation on both sides. But yeah, so I've always kind of known that saying that is not valid. People will tell you it's an answer, and they want to hear they want you to rattle off a bunch of ethnicities, but people really don't accept that. They really want a clear, cut and dry, direct answer. They don't want you to make it confusing for them. They want you to be very direct, or they're going to be direct about it for you. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say, and I just want to make this disclaimer and make it very clear. The point of my channel and why I respond to this stuff on the internet is because I feel like there aren't people like in a a non-biased, non-childish way, kind of like responding to the stuff that's being said and having real conversations, like really talking about this shit, not making it about like vanity and desirability politics, shit like that. And I am not here trying to tell other mixed people how they should identify, what you should call yourself, how you should feel about yourself, how you should see yourself. Don't feel like because I identify one way or see myself one way that's what I'm trying to project onto you or force you to do, because that's not what I'm here to do. So I want to make that very clear. I more so don't like the stereotyping, the smear campaigns, the flying monkeys, the personal attacks, the choosing to intentionally bully people and make people's life hard because of who they are and stuff that they cannot change. Yeah, that is what I have an issue with. And yeah, did I mention the propaganda? I probably did. But yeah, and this propaganda has been going on for a very long time as well. So yeah. Um, but yeah, and again, I'm not in the business of telling other mixed people how to identify or how not to identify. That's your business and that's a personal thing. But these people can't just be online just saying anything. That's not cool, because they don't allow this type of bullying and smearing against any other group, and especially not a black group. Notice how in America, a lot of these non-black people who are liberal, they literally tiptoe around the black community so much. But do you see anybody defending mixed people, even though a lot of us are half non-black? Do you see any mixed people, any non-black people, or anybody coming to mixed people, Afro mixed people's defense? No, you don't. And I bet you, can you imagine if they was out here talking about Asians like that? They would not allow it. Or Greenlanders, or any type of non-black mixed group. I'm not trying to ostracize this from other mixed people. I'm just saying, like, this is only allowed because we are part of the African descent community, and it's other people of African descent coming at us, and all these liberals tiptoe around the black community, which they should. It's not your business to get into black people's issues, but I'm just saying, take note of this. So yeah, anyway, there's a huge political issue with this as well. Like, y'all saw how they treated Kamala Harris. Like, this shit is serious. You know what I mean? And with all this ICE stuff going on, and like, I'm telling you, if you know anything about propaganda, shoot, just go read Mouse about the Holocaust. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all think this is fun and games? Y'all sitting up here kicking about light skin privilege? This is not a game. Shit is getting really bad out here. But anyway, I'm not trying to scare nobody. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this video, and how they were responding to refugees. Thanks for all the support. Peace.